Hey, this your boy, Dr. Christopher J. Childs, live and direct from the home office. I know everybody is in different places right now. I thought it'd be best if we tried something new as it relates to professional development and professional learning. So with this professional development and this professional learning, just going to try to do something live for you all, free virtual workshops, any topic I'm open to. If you email me at freeworkshop@christopherchilds.com, I can do any workshop for you all as it relates to learning mathematics. It's only going to be Monday through Thursday, so Friday we can rest, and definitely on the weekend we're going to get some rest. But we're really going to do some impactful things as it relates to mathematics. Today, we got a hot topic for you all. Today's hot topic is going to be the following. And if you're following on live, you can check out my website, christopherchilds.com/resources. And when you check on the resources, you're also going to see a handout that's going to help you all follow along. With these workshops, I'm not trying to go into deep mathematics. I'm really trying to go big picture. Just let's talk about some good subjects, some topics that we need help with. And then later, if we want to go even deeper, we can go a lot deeper. But for now, let's go big picture, highlight some things to improve our classrooms. And then later we can do longer chat sessions where we really get deep into the mathematics and the mathematical learning. You're seeing the closed captions at the bottom. The closed captions are in real time. Some are going to be accurate, some may not. Just bear with me as we work out the whole closed captioning piece. So today's topic, 4 simple steps to teaching a math lesson. We've gotten in this math era, we've gotten to the point, man, we made teaching math kind of hard. We've made it hard in the sense of we want students to do this, we want students to do this, and we have to do this and this and this. And we're really losing what does a good mathematics lesson look like. So what I want to do is simplify it into 4 simple steps. These 4 simple steps will work in any mathematics classroom. I guarantee you these steps will work in any mathematics classroom. As you all know, I work with a lot of different entities. And with me working with a lot of different entities, I got to do a little CYA sometimes. So I'm really focused on with this piece of, hey, my statements and opinions are my own, so I don't want anyone to leave this and say, Dr. Child said this, and he said, hey, I did say that, but I'm not representing anyone in that nature. The chat feature, if you click the video in my website, it's going to take you to Facebook. You can chat in the Facebook piece. So you see me moving around over here. I got my iPad set up, and I'm monitoring the Facebook feed as best I can in real time. Over here, I got my iPad set up where I'm looking at what are you all seeing? Just making sure it's coming through clearly. So if you see me looking around, I got my laptop in front of me. I got cell phones because if you know, I'm active on Twitter, so I'm always tweeting something. So a lot of things are going right now. A lot of things are going, but let's make it beneficial. Short, sweet, 30-minute workshop. I'm going to show you all how we can redefine what is professional learning. Let's jump into it. Everything starts off with a goal. The goal is, how do we simplify a mathematics lesson? Simple as that. By the end of this 30-minute period, I'm going to show you 4 simple steps to simplify your mathematics lessons. So the very first thing is, if you've heard me speak before, I talk about these 6 stages of instruction. These are my big picture stages for an entire mathematics lesson. This is when you're rocking and you're rolling. So with the 4 simple steps, I've taken this framework and simplified it. Why? Everyone is at different levels when it comes to their expertise in the classroom. So this is big picture, where we want to get you to, but today I'm going to water it down in the sense and make it easier, give you some bite-sized chunks to really get into the math. So let's look at these 6 stages. These are also found on the homepage of my website, where I go into them even more in depth. A great mathematics lesson is only 6 stages. First, it starts off with the standards. You're always going to have standards. No matter where you are, whether it's Common Core or something else, you will always have standards. The second stage, you start focusing on your student learning outcomes. You want to set these because based upon the standard may have multiple components. You want to be a little bit more specific. What specifically do you want students to learn over the course of instruction? Stage 3, how do you select rich problem-solving tasks? Stage 4, how do you implement these tasks at a high level? Stage 5 is engaging students in discourse. Students naturally love to talk. Our job is to identify effective ways to get them talking. And 6 is assessment. How are we assessing what we're teaching? This is critical. And this is not, oh, Chris, I have the standardized assessment at the end of the year. It's beyond a standardized assessment. This is on a regular basis. How are you identifying how students are learning? And you don't have to give a formal quiz or a test to identify students who are learning. Those are the 6 stages. Again, I'm not going into those in depth today, but those, if you really want to take your teaching to the next level, you jump to the 6. But we're going to start off with the 4 simple steps. 4 basic steps any teacher can implement starting tomorrow in their classrooms. These are 4 simple steps to engage your students in a high-level mathematics experience. This is what I do across the country. The very first thing, I pose a rich problem-solving task. We're going to talk about what does a rich problem-solving task look like. I have an elementary task and I have a high school task, because watching this video, it could be elementary teachers, pre-K, it could be kindergarten, it may be some college professors out there watching these videos, which is great. So I want to show a range of different tasks as we go throughout this experience over the next, I don't know if it's going to be days, weeks. I got time as long as you all are tuning in. So first, this is what you do in your classroom. 4 simple steps. First, you got to pick a rich problem-solving task. I'm going to show you all later what does that look like, how do you pick them, where do you find them. Second, allow students to work individually on a task. Many times we jump in, we give students, say, hey, work on this problem. 30 seconds later, we're solving it. Students need individual think time to do some sense making in regards to the task. This individual think time is important. You want to see what they know and what they don't know, and just give them a chance to process and think. Remember, the information is new to you and it's new to them at times. So think about that. If you're your first time teaching, you haven't taught in a while, you're kind of nervous. What do you think the students are going through when they're engaging in the information also? So give them that individual time. You're going to circulate, see how students are performing. So your first step, first you got to give them a rich task to even start this. The second step, you let students work on their own and you just engage them in this discussion. This is a quiet time where students really can focus and think. The third step, you do a turn and talk. Think about your talk moves. With a turn and talk, this allows those students who just work individually to now turn and talk to your neighbor. Most people say, well, Chris, some of my students, they didn't have anything on the paper. That means when you go through and engage them in step 2, you need to help them with what are some entry points to engage in an assignment. With rich tasks, every student can engage at some level. It's just how you strategically setting up that task for students to engage. Then when they get to the turn and talk phase, now the students can take what they just initially learned and put it and talk to the neighbor about it. So now your students possibly have their way they did it and their neighbor's way. That's like two different strategies or problem solving approaches. Not counting a lot of classrooms I go in, they have group setting like 4 or 5 students, which I love. Think about how many different ways students can discuss what is their problem solving process. And the fourth task step, coming back whole group, and we're going to review it. That's it. That is literally 4 steps to a great lesson. Posing a rich task, let students work individually, let students work in small group, turn and talk, and then you come back whole group. That's it. If you want to have an awesome lesson, that's all you got to do. And everything is aligned to standards. Don't get that twisted. Everything aligned to standards. But all this other stuff we're doing, I get it. I'm not saying I don't agree with it, but I'm thinking about teachers. Some teachers are naturally struggling in teaching math. They're doing the best that they can, but they're struggling because I've looked at some of these books and different materials, and it's like I've seen lessons that are 10 pages, 10-page lessons for 60 minutes. I understand. Some teachers need supports, etc. But a lot of teachers are getting overwhelmed out here. And if you're an overwhelmed teacher trying to get through all these pages and you get to the end, you're like, crap, I messed this up today. That's a bad feeling. But if I simplify it a little bit, then what I call is when I go back to my 6 stages, I can then build and go in more in depth. But I got to first start off, I got to simplify this thing. I'm not doing no song and dance. I'm not doing no fluency builders and no. I'm doing a rich problem solving task. You're probably saying, Chris, what I mean? I call this the tale of 2 tasks. Tale of 2 tasks. With the tale of 2 tasks, everything is aligned to the standards. No matter what, everything is aligned to the standards. Say it with me. everything is aligned to the standard. Say it one more time. Everything is aligned to the what? Standards. You're always going to have standards. I'm pausing to make sure we get it. You're always going to have standards. With that being said, here's my standard. Apply and extend previous understandings of multiplication to multiply fraction by whole number. That's it. Again, in my stages, I go into deeper student learning outcomes, etc. For the simplicity, I just, hey, here's a standard. Now, as an educator, I have two tasks that I can choose from in this instance. You see what I mean in a moment. But as we think about those two tasks that I'm going to show you, or tasks in general, there's no such thing as a perfect task. There is no such thing as a perfect task. There are some good tasks. There's some great tasks. There's no such thing as a perfect task. So let's get that out of our head. Chris, I got the perfect. There's no such thing. There's so many nuances to making great tasks. And that also means there are some crappy tasks out there. I mean, I want to say piss poor. I guess I did. Piss poor tasks out there. So there are some crap out there in the ecosystem. And I'm going to show you later where can you get some good tasks from, but there's no perfect task. Even the task I'm going to give you, I'm telling you right now, it's a good task. It's fire. But I'm going to even show you some imperfections within the task and how we can do a little bit of modifications based upon your students. So there's no perfect task. Now, with that being said, based upon that standard, all I'm doing is multiplying a whole number by a fraction. A lot of places, this is the task students are going to get something like this. Solve. Write your answer as a fraction, 10 times 5 over 6, or 10 times 5, 6. When I think about this task, students going to be trying to figure out, hey, do I keep change, flip it? Do I multiply the top? Do I divide the top? Parents at home trying to help their kid, do we add them? Do we find a common? Now, all these things are going through the mindset. Also with this task, you're going to get into, is it an improper fraction or a fraction greater than 1? Look that up. That's the difference. Improper fraction versus fraction greater than 1. I'm not even going to tell you what that means, but look up fractions greater than 1. It's going to blow your mind. Then we get into the simplification process, which I do in another episode. So this is one task. Here's another task. Same standard. The 5 members of the child's family each drank 3/4 cup orange juice for breakfast. How much juice did the family drink before breakfast? Same two different tasks, same standard though. Think about the engagement level of students based upon these tasks. Think about the use of manipulatives. Think about students understanding what is happening in the task. And what I tell you earlier, there's no perfect task. For example, someone will say, well, Chris, I have students who don't know what orange juice is, which is possible. I'm down here in Florida. Obviously, we have orange juice. You can change orange juice to water, or you can change it to the student's drink of choice in the morning. So, no perfect task. We can change that context. I'm not putting in my student's name and all that crazy stuff. No. What I'm doing is focusing on the math of this. So when you think about that DCM piece, those 4 simple steps, which task is really going to give you some depth of learning, depth of understanding? Which task you're going to really have some great turn and talk? Which task is going to bring meaning to the students? They're both going to get you to the standard. They're both going to get you those checks, but they're going to engage students in 2 different ways. If students can solve task number 2, they can solve task number 1. On the reverse, if they can't solve 1, they're probably going to struggle with 2. But we focus on 2 and go into a depth of understanding. In your curriculum materials, typically you find a whole bunch of task 1 and a couple of task 2. Reverse engineer that things. You don't have to go in the order that the book tells you. You can start off with those word problems and go to in depth with your students. And then DCM it. Pose that rich task, make sure they understand what's happening. With this one, I got 3/4 of a cup of orange juice. Guess what? I'm going to bring out the manipulatives. I'm going to let students draw pictures. This is a time, if you have measuring cups, I'm looking around. I'm in my office like I keep measuring cups in my office. Actually, I did. In my old office, I did have like manipulative kits behind me. Other videos, I'm going to bring them back, show y'all. You can take out the measuring cups. I've done this with students. I get out the measuring cups, and they go over to the sink. They filling up a bigger measuring cup. Like, we're really getting involved with this task. Students are allowed to make that. They can make some sense of what's happening within the task. But 10 times 5 over 6, it's only so much we can do. You can say, oh, Chris, I'm going to get the manipulative, but there's no context. Context matters when students are trying to do some sense making. With that context mattering, there are 2 types of tasks. It really breaks down into 4. Again, I'm trying to simplify 2 types. Your high-level task, your low-level task. High-level tasks are going to engage in students in a high level. Your low-level tasks are just those base rote routine tasks. If Siri can solve the task, let's see. The other one was 10 times 5, 6. Let's see if Siri can do it, if my phone's hooked up. Hey, Siri, what is 10 times 5 over 6?
Sorry, I didn't get.
Don't embarrass me in front of everybody, Siri. Oh, boom. You heard it on this phone. On this phone, it came up. She said 10 times 5 over 6 equals approximately 8.3333. See that? It's on here. Oh, it went to my own screensaver. So this every device when I say, hey, Siri, jumped on it. So that was kind of fun. Now, so there are two types of tasks. If Siri can solve the task, is a low-level task. We want to focus on what? High-level tasks, okay? High-level tasks are really when you get to that depth of learning and that problem solving. When you go into the deeper research, there are actually 4 levels, but simplified. Focus on the 2. High task, low task. They both meet the standard. Which one is going to give you more bang for your buck? So now, when we think about this tale of 2 tasks, what are we looking for? You want a task with multiple entry points. Every task you give the students, see if every student can engage in that task at some level. 10 times 5 over 6, they may or may not be able to get some. With this drinking orange juice, students can engage because at the very least, they can get measuring cups. At the very least, they can get out fraction tile and really engage in from different entry points. Understand, every student is going to look at these tasks differently. When they're rich tasks, some students may, as in this picture is the elephant, some may look at, hey, the ears, some may look at the legs. Let the students explore. That's the beauty of math. Is not no worksheet. Math is exploration. Math is problem solving. Math is not a worksheet. All right? So get beyond, they got to do it the way I was taught. What does that matter? Like, if you look at the data right now, our students, it sucks. Our data sucks across the country. For most student groups, I'm not saying that you leave this and all that. Most student groups, the data sucks. So we got to try something different. All right, the next piece, make sure it's rigorous. If you've ever tried to solve a Rubik's Cube, it's challenging. You want problems like that for students. You want them thinking and really trying to see, what is mathematics all about? Mathematics can't be just formulas and worksheets. And I saw somebody online today, they posting quizzes and lectures. Oh my gosh, like, make the jump, fun. Next piece, math tools. Like I said earlier, tasks I use, I like to engage students in manipulatives where they really think about it. In science, you all use tools and different apparatuses and stuff in science. We get to math, I don't want to pull out the wrong worksheet and somebody get mad at me. It's a piece of paper. This is math. This ain't math. This ain't math. I'm going to show you what math is. Math is this stuff. This hand sanitizer. I posted this on Twitter the other day. Imagine if you told students, gave them the recipe to make hand sanitizer right now, and they took that recipe and then they can do some financial formulas with, hey, how much can I make? Or how much, the ratio and proportions, and it can actually save lives right now. That's math. Give them this and say, hey, we need to recreate this, and we're going to do some math behind it. Or you can give them a worksheet and say, hey, I got a bunch of formulas for how to create hand sanitizer. You're going to use that. Man, crap. Give them something for real. Next piece. Hey, right now we got a lot of English language learners. English is not, I don't know where we get this notation. You got to learn English for what? Like, bilingual people on average make more money than non-bilingual people if you speak more than one language. So guess what? We need to learn some other languages. So allowing students to work within their native language, that task I gave you earlier, I can translate that easy to other languages for students to engage in. Then I can also think about if in their culture they have a different morning drink, I can add the drink in their language. Think about it. I just came from another country. I'm in your math class. You gave me 10 over 5 over 6. I'm like, what the crap is this? But if you give me a problem talking about drinking some juice or something that from my culture in the morning on my paper, I'm like, cool. I like this class. I can engage in it. Also with students, uncover the beauty in the mathematics of what they say. You ought to ask questions, really get students engaged in the mathematics. I'm mesmerized by this hand sanitizer because this is like a STEM lesson that is easy to do that everybody in America should be doing right now. But what do I know? Now, my high school teachers, I did not leave you all out. So build new functions from existing functions. That's my standard. I'm always going to leave with a standard because people say, well, Chris, that's not standard. Everything I do is standards aligned. A lot of them songs and dances that's out there ain't standards aligned, but I ain't going to say who do songs and dances and post them on Instagram. And everybody, oh my God, they do song and dance, but they ain't got no data to prove that work. And I know a specific school, but I'm not going to say that school. Y'all not going to say Dr. Child's a hater. Anyways, so here we go. Here are 2 tasks based upon this previous standard. I'm gonna let y'all look at these tasks. And every, my algebra teachers, y'all, everybody when they were growing up, they did task 1. And you like the domain and the range, you making some asymptotes, you may graph it. You like, what the heck is this graph? Or you may expand and all that. But look at the task on the right. The population of a small town growing 5% each year, how long will it take? Because right now, we see a lot of data about exponential functions. And a lot of people have no idea what they're talking about. Why? Because they're looking for somebody to give them that formula so you can play in the crack calculator and then get some crap that they really don't know what it means. When you do these 4 simple steps, I've done these 4 simple steps. DCM, I've done it in pre-K. I've done it in college level classes. That's all. Like, if you come see me anywhere I do a teaching demonstration, anybody can attest to this. Go into one of my teaching demonstrations. All I'm going to do is this. I'm going to show you a rich problem solving task to students. Make sure they understand it. After the rich problem solving task, the next thing I'm going to do is let them work individually. After I give it to them, I'm going to let them turn and talk, and we'll talk about a whole group. And then someone will say, well, Chris, what about the score? The score is through the roof. Proof is in the pudding. Proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. But, everybody, I got to give them more practice problems. They got to do some practice. Man, come on, dude. For real? Like, for real? Practice, more practice problems? I'm like AI say, just practice. We're talking about practice? Here's my thing. I'll give you this. Then I'm going to go to the next. If practice problems are so effective, why we got the data that we got now? I don't think you heard me. Turn the mic on. If all this practice is so effective, why do the same cell population of students still not pass these tests? Oh, they doing them. Don't say, oh, they don't do it. They doing them too. Oh, we won't talk about that. All right, let's go on to the next one. So now, SC. SC means you all got to be strategic consumers. I'm in my office. I got a bunch of books everywhere around me. You have to be a strategic consumer of the materials that you use. With being a strategic consumer, every task is not a good task. Every website, oh my gosh, right now, all of a sudden, everybody got all these ideas. Go to this math website. Go to this math website. Dude, a lot of that junk is crap, man. Like, just because it's a math website or a math book does not mean it's good. So understand, be a strategic consumer. Are they rich problem solving? Is it really engaging students, or is it just time consuming? Like, my daughter, everybody knows my daughters, I refuse to give them worksheets over. Like, I throw this stuff in the trash. Like, because I don't care about. Oh, Chris, they need to. Hey, give them something involved, man. My daughter wow, she hadn't done it this year. Thank God, because it's getting expensive. She was a slime connoisseur making it. If I told her to make some hand sanitizer, it's just like making slime. Well, she engage. But most of the people have sent home these worksheet packets. Got these worksheet packets. I'm gonna be honest, half the kids ain't even do them worksheet packets. My daughter's school and sent on a worksheet packet. I was gonna throw in trash. They know me by now. Oh, what's the DCM? I call it the Dr. Child Method. Why do I call it the Dr. Child Method? Because everybody's been in college. Everybody's had professors that had books, and I actually got a book now, so I'm doing my thing. Got their books out. They got all these fun. I'm like, man, look, I'm about to do my thing. Call it the DCM. I'm not saying I got exclusive rights to this, but this is just what I do. And I made it simpler in my opinion, so I put my name on it, but it's not trademark. Like other stuff I do, I did trademark this. I'm not trademarking, but if I know it works, I will put money on it. I put my career on it. I can come into any environment, kindergarten, pre-K through calculus. Now I'm gonna go on up. I go pre-K through college algebra and do this, and it'll work. Any environment, any given day, any group of students, I put money on it. I will come to your district and do this pre-K through college algebra. Guaranteed. Like, I know it works. Like, some stuff I don't know. This I know it works. All right. If you know me, I plug my stuff. Check out the Inspiring Educators podcast. We drop every other week. Check it out. Like, it's the dopest podcast out there. Everybody want to be a part of the podcast. Everybody want to check it out. So if you're on I'm saying Netflix. If you're on Google Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, we on there with my boy Jadrian Grimes, my girl Ms. Layla Noor, and your boy Dr. Christopher Day Child. Check out the podcast. Yeah, I still got a little two-step. All right, this is Women's History Month. I don't know about everybody else. I celebrate different stuff. Like if you follow me on Twitter, I celebrate Black History Month. It's on my webpage now. Go to /resources on the webpage. You'll see Black mathematicians. I'm celebrating Women's History Month. Boom. Like how we have all this stuff, and for some reason we only celebrate them. Like I'm not saying those dumb holidays, but we celebrate a lot of stuff. Like come on, just for the sake of it. Like Christopher Columbus Day, like for real. Like we still celebrating that after we know. But let me get back on topic. I only got a couple more minutes. Celebrating Dr. Nikki Newton. So what I'm doing, as long as this show goes and this show is going, you know, while we're on this break, I'm celebrating mathematicians that are women or women mathematicians. I'm just both intertwined. Like I'm just celebrating them. So I'm checking out this Dr. Nikki Newton. Hit her up, tag her. Her website is there, drnickynewton.com. She's on social media platforms. I should have put a Twitter up here. Hold on, let me see if I can find it real quick. Let's see. Nikki, where's your Twitter? Oh, perfect. She's on Twitter. And it's Dr. Nikki Math. Nikki Math. All right. Y'all know how to say math, right? M-A-T-H. All right. Dr. Nikki Math. Check out. She's an expert. I'm going to shout out some new coming teachers. I'm going to shout out variety, but she's an expert in best practices, math centers, guided math, curriculum mapping, just to name a few. She has other expertise, but if you're looking for somebody, check out her website. Follow on Twitter, Nikki Math. She's on Facebook also. She actually on Instagram too. Check her out. Dope individual, celebrating Women's History Month. So that's our goal. How do we simplify a lesson? DC Emmett, rich tasks. Give it to students individually. Let them work in group, small group, turn and talk, and come back whole group and talk about tasks. That's it. Some of y'all saying, Chris, that's way too simple. I'm beyond it. I need a little bit more. But check this out. I didn't have time to implement it, put it in there, but check this out. Check out this book, The 5 Practices for Orchestrating Math discussions. If you want to go deep in the discourse, this is the book, The 5 Practices for Orchestrating Math discussions by Smith and Stein. This is good. This is a good one. So I gave you like, hey, let's get foundational, get started. But some of you saying, I got some teachers that want to go deep. Go deep with this one, and you still got my 6 stages, which we'll unpack on another time. But this your boy, Dr. Christopher J. Childs. Are you cultivating your students to become problem solvers or rule followers? Hey, man, students are going to forget those formulas. Engage them in rich problem solving. 4 steps. If these 4 steps don't work, hit me up. I'll come to your school. I will come to your school. If you try this and it doesn't work, I'll come to your school. I'm coming. But when I come and it works, hey, we're going to have a discussion now. We're going to have a discussion. Come on. Check me out. This your boy. All right, so now we're going to transition. I'm doing 2 pieces now. Some people have been emailing me different questions. I think I got a couple questions. Some people are calling in. So we're going to transition now. We're going to transition now to the Ask DRK Child show. The Ask DRK Child show. This is going to be something different. This is something brand new.